Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a timeless story that really challenges our ideas about strength, and it reveals where true power comes from, not from muscle, but from the mind.
So, this quote right here, this is the central theme. It's the core idea we're going to see play out in a surprisingly dramatic and, frankly, a very, very clever way.
Our story kicks off in a small village, with a poor farmer named Ramu and a loyal companion who is about to change his life forever.
This is Bola. And listen, he wasn't just any buffalo. He was incredibly hardworking, super loyal, and exceptionally intelligent. His tireless work out in the fields was about to completely flip his owner's life upside down.
In this slide really drives that point home. It's a stark before and after, isn't it? Thanks to all of Bola's hard work, Ramu's fortunes just turned around completely. He went from being a struggling farmer to someone living a prosperous and pretty peaceful life.
But, time moves on for everyone. And as Bola got older, Ramu could see his loyal friend was getting tired. So he made a deeply compassionate decision that would start a whole new chapter for both of them.
With these simple but really heartfelt words, Ramu released his old friend into a nearby forest, giving him the freedom to live out the rest of his days in peace. This timeline here perfectly illustrates Bola's next chapter. He goes from a life of service to this new beginning of freedom. But take a look at that last point. In his search for a safe spot to rest, he unknowingly settles into a cave that belongs to a lion. And yeah, this is where our story takes a very sharp turn.
So, now we get to the first major conflict, where Bola's peaceful retirement is about to get rudely interrupted by the cave's, let's say, rightful owner. Of course, there's a cunning fox involved. Seeing a chance to get on the lion's good side, he spills the beans about Bola's location. As you can probably guess, the lion is furious and storms back to his den to confront this intruder.
Okay, so put yourself in his shoes for a second. If you saw a furious lion coming right at you, your first instinct would be to panic, right? To run, to do anything to get away. But Bola did something totally different.
Instead of panicking, he followed this clear, three-step mental process you see right here on the slide. First, control the fear. Second, stay calm so you can think clearly. And third, use your intelligence. This is the crucial point. His mind, not his horns, became his weapon.
Just as the lion gets to the entrance of the cave, Bola bellows from inside. "You're late! I asked for 2 lions today. Yesterday's meal was not enough." He didn't sound scared. He sounded annoyed and powerful.
The lion just stops dead in his tracks. 2 lions? He couldn't imagine what kind of terrifying creature was in that cave eating lions for dinner, and he was not about to stick around to find out. He turned and fled in absolute terror. But the story doesn't end there. The fox, seeing the lion running away, realized it must have been a trick. So he found the terrified lion and, after a lot of convincing, persuaded the king of the forest to go back for a second look.
So here's the setup for round 2. The lion is still terrified, but the insistent fox pushes him to go back. Now, to make sure the lion doesn't bolt again, the fox comes up with a plan. They'll tie themselves together. This, as we're about to see, was a catastrophic mistake. So Bola saw them approaching, tied together. Once again, his life was on the line. But he didn't panic. He stayed calm and came up with an even more brilliant bluff. As they got closer, Bola shouted again, but this time he addressed the fox directly. "Fox, why did you bring only 1 lion this time? I told you to bring 2. By making it sound like the fox was his servant, he completely flipped the script. For the lion, this was it. This was instant confirmation of his absolute worst fears. He thought, the fox betrayed me. He made a deal to deliver me to this monster. The terror was just total. So, in a blind panic, the lion took off at full speed, completely forgetting the fox was tied to him. The poor fox was just dragged helplessly through the forest. Bola had won, decisively, without ever having to lift a hoof. And so, Bola lived out the rest of his days in peace, having proven a powerful lesson about where true strength really lies. This story gives us such a powerful working definition of a calm mind. It's not about the absence of fear. Bola was surely afraid. It's the ability to master that fear, to think clearly and strategically right in the face of immense pressure. That is the source of true power. So what are the key takeaways from all this? Well, as you can see, it really just boils down to this. Calmness is a superpower. Intelligence will always outwit brute force. And ultimately, your greatest strength isn't physical at all, it's your mind. And that leaves us with a final thought. We all face our own lions, right? Our own challenges that seem overwhelming. The question this story leaves us with is this: how will you use your greatest power, a calm, clear, and strategic mind, to face them?